Goku and Vegeta have come all the way to planet Mystoria in Universe 11 to fight Jiren and pursue magical energy. It's been a pretty awkward trip so far. Vegeta fought Jiren, but their first fight was stopped before we had a winner. Following that, Goku and Vegeta were given the task of finding the Dragon Star fruit, and so they go to this magical forest, but as it turns out, this fruit sprouts in response to one's innate magical powers. So while Goku easily gets the hang of it and gets the fruit, Vegeta is too much of an intellectual to let things just happen. However, when a certain god of destruction ruins his peaceful meditation in the dead of night, Vegeta awakens a new kind of strength. He also awakens magical energy. Not by surrendering his pride or anything stupid like that, he did it by forcing the dormant magical energy into submission. He took it all and then made it his own. Be sure you guys go check out the previous parts of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct as well, because this is turning out to probably be my most creative and unusual what ifs, I guess. As for the story from here on out, well, let's hop right in. So, the paranoid Saiyan has learned a few new tricks, huh? Belmod says, with a raging, arrogant smile on his face. It's more than just a trick. A clown stuck in the status quo such as yourself will never understand, Vegeta replies. He was unbothered right now. Without waiting, Vegeta plunges forward and unleashes a flurry of blows. Belmod is easily able to dodge him though. They were just simple consecutive punches, but Vegeta didn't stop. He kept throwing them. Belmod can instinctively understand that something was up, so he asks, "Hey, what are you up to?" "Honestly, I have no idea," Vegeta replies. This answer stuns Belmod, but Vegeta is genuinely telling the truth. Ever since he awakened this magical energy, he was allowing his body to just move on its own while closely observing everything through his mind. He isn't consciously throwing those blows himself, and that's exactly why he has no idea what they're gonna do either. But if you were to ask Vegeta how confident he was feeling right then, he would have simply just grinned without saying anything. What's happening right now in this moment is a result of everything Vegeta's body has been through recently. Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct, this magical energy. He was on his way to developing a style of fighting that leaves even himself somewhat confused. Belmod was getting tired of the stalling, so he charges up a sphere of destruction and throws it at Vegeta. "There, have fun with that," he says. In response, Vegeta does nothing though. He just waits for the sphere to reach him, and yet it never does. Halfway through, it stops and takes a U-turn. Belmod is taken aback. He barely manages to deflect his own attack. Vegeta laughs. "So this is how it is, huh?" "What are you talking about?" Belmod asks. "It seems I've created an invisible prison for you. Every energy attack you use will be redirected right back at you. All thanks to this weird magic," Vegeta replies. Belmod thinks he's out of his mind, but sure enough, when he uses another sphere of destruction, the same thing happens. "Impressive, Vegeta. I guess I did underestimate you. The way you are right now, you may even be stronger than Goku, but you know what? If it was that easy to stop a god of destruction, this status quo would have never existed in the first place," Belmod declares. He then lunges with a powerful Hakai wave, fully intent on erasing Vegeta from the planet. Vegeta doesn't prepare for a counterattack though, as he was too curious to see how this was gonna turn out. Belmod is the same. He wants to know if an intentional Hakai wave on Vegeta would make its way back to him or not. So, what would happen? Well, the prison Vegeta created using an imperfect form of Mystorian arts was nothing permanent. When Belmod's Hakai wave touched it, the prison gets absolved. Neither of them see it getting released, but they can hear the sound of the glass shattering all around them, or what sounded like glass shattering. Vegeta closes his eyes now that this super powerful Hakai wave was making its way to him, and he needed some way to counter, somehow. Right before the wave would reach him, Vegeta's aura changes from Ultra Instinct to that of Ultra Ego. He immediately fires a Hakai of his own as they both collide in the middle of the sky. Vegeta doesn't stop there though. He also throws an orb of magical energy at the point where the Hakais collided. It was at this point that the clash would simply implode. There was a massive diversion as the Hakai goes off in all directions. Vegeta uses Spirit Fission to reabsorb whatever was coming his way, while Belmod has to cause them to disappear consciously. "This is tiring. I don't feel like continuing anymore," Belmod says. "What? If you stop and leave, this would mean I won the fight. Let's continue," Vegeta says. "Nah, you should be careful though, Vegeta. What if that Hakai earlier came into contact with planet Mystoria? I'll never hear the end of it from Jiren," Belmod says, and then tells Margarita that they're leaving now. Vegeta just stays silent. If the fight isn't gonna continue, he wasn't in the mood for some petty chit-chat either. He returns to his spot in the forest and just casually continues his meditation. Belmod and Margarita return to planet Belmod. Personally, I didn't expect the second fiddle to be this strong. Looks like Beerus and Whis are directly involved in the growth of these Saiyans. There is no other explanation, Margarita says. For real. I may have gotten rusty because as hard as I tried, I couldn't envision the end of my fight with him. It could have gone on forever, Belmod replies. What about Jiren though? Did you really stop just because you didn't want to mess up the planet, she asks. Oh yes, that is true. He has gotten absurdly strong since the Tournament of Power. If I'm forced into a fight with him, I'll lose and effectively lose my position as the Destroyer, he states. Yeah, and then everyone would definitely call you a clown, she says, chuckling. Oh please, I'm at least among the top 5 strongest destroyers, Belmod says. Back on planet Mystoria, Jiren and Goku had observed the fight from the night before and they were discussing it with each other when Vegeta shows up. Great work, Vegeta. You awakened your magical energy as well. Show me your Dragon Star fruit. Let's compare the size, Goku says. Vegeta recalls that although he did acquire the magical energy, the fruit never sprouted. You didn't heed my advice again, Vegeta. I thought I told you to surrender all you know about strength. You didn't. You're still too arrogant and prideful. The fruit will never appear this way, Jiren says. Whatever, Magic Man. I don't care about some stupid fruit. I did acquire it, didn't I? I can use magical energy just like how you can as well. I don't need any stupid fruit, Vegeta replies. Vegeta and Jiren would have an intense stare-off before Goku breaks the silence. Anyways, Vegeta, we saw your fight with Lord Belmod. Who do you think is stronger, Lord Beerus or Lord Belmod? Goku asks. Lord Beerus, and it's not even close, Vegeta replies within a second of even getting asked the question. He didn't have to think about it at all. Yes, I agree, Lord Belmod would lose against Destroyer Beerus, Jiren adds. What? And how would you know, Vegeta asks. By abandoning my very conception of strength, I'm now able to see it without any bias. This is the difference between you and Goku, Vegeta. This is the difference between me and you, Jiren declares. Vegeta notices Goku holding his fruit. Hey Kakarot, look, a flying cat, Vegeta says while pointing upwards. Where, Goku looks. And this gave Vegeta enough time to snatch the fruit and take a bite out of it. Yeah, Vegeta was just going balls to the walls at this point. Goku ends up turning back around, slightly disappointed, and when Jiren asks him what he feels about Vegeta taking a bite out of his fruit, he says that he doesn't mind. He actually tasted the fruit earlier himself and it was bitter. Vegeta begins observing his body, all of his limbs. There was no obvious change yet, at least. Jiren had had enough of Vegeta's nonsense, but when he recalls how Master Kubo essentially left Goku and Vegeta in his hands, he decides that he just has to be the adult here. Okay, Vegeta, what is it that you see? Is becoming the strongest your only goal? You think it ends there? Jiren asks. Incorrect. That question in itself proves that you do not understand the Saiyan race. It never ends. My goal is to not stop. That's it. Stopping and stagnating means death for a Saiyan. Don't overcomplicate it. I can tell that you yourself have never thought that deeply about it either, Vegeta replies. Yeah, I think we do need a proper fight after this Mystorian arts training ends, Jiren replies. You really piss me off. I'll defeat you and force you into learning some humility. Vegeta just laughs. I'm glad you're finally being honest. In his mind, Vegeta knows that Jiren is much, much stronger than Belmod. He also knows that the way he is right now, he will lose against Jiren. Perfect. That's exactly how Vegeta wanted things to be. Last time, it was Goku who learned something as legendary as the Ultra Instinct to match Jiren. This time, it'll be him. Vegeta doesn't know what kind of transformation or technique he's heading towards, but it will happen, that's for sure. At the end of the current training arc, he'll be ascending to the next level, and what could be more exciting than that? Meanwhile, at planet Beerus. Say, Lord Beerus, are you still interested in appointing Vegeta as your successor, Whis asks. Beerus thinks about it for a second and then replies, no way. Vegeta only dances to his own tune. He'll definitely cause trouble with the Grand Priest and Zeno. I don't trust him enough to leave the position to him. But you do think he's qualified, right? Whis asks. Beerus gradually opens his eyes and says, well, absolutely. Back to planet Mystoria, 7 days have passed since Goku and Vegeta came to this planet. Master Kubo was making a special potion all this time, but now he's back, and it's time for the Mystorian martial arts training to begin. Well done, Jiren. I see you helped them both awaken their magical energy. You might even be better at this job than I am, Kubo says. However, when he notices the instability of Vegeta's magical energy, he isn't too sure what to say. Young man, there's chaos in your mind and soul. Are you satisfied with this? Kubo asks. That is a Saiyan's way of life, Vegeta replies sincerely. Master Kubo gives him a thumbs up, and then he asks all three of them as well as the young Mystorian to follow him. He takes them to a certain cave in the magical forest where there's a gate, and right before they all step into it, he says, "Careful. Beyond this gate is a different world." Goku just gulped, but he was honestly excited, and Vegeta was looking forward to it as well. Upon entering the cave, they're all met with a land of pure vibrations. It was just colors and wavelengths everywhere. Look long enough and you would probably start losing your vision or seizing up. Master, please let me be the first, Jiren asks. Of course, he claps. And just like that, all four of them are taken somewhere else again. This time, they were taken to a darker and grim reality. There were heinous looking creatures everywhere, and Vegeta and Goku wonder what any of this has to do with their training, but as for Jiren, he looks unusually composed. Finally, we meet again, you wretched villain who took everything from me, Jiren declares. Suddenly, a mist of darkness takes the shape of a humanoid being in front of them that replies, I don't even know who you are. Should I? You see, the only reason Jiren picked up Mystorian arts is because he knew that magical energy is the secret to entering the world of the villain who killed his master back when he was a kid. But at long last, now that he's finally mastered magical energy, and with Goku and Vegeta getting to spectate this, it was finally time for Jiren to get revenge on the monster that killed his master.